Alrighty, guys. Thanks for joining me. This is your host, ID Jester. It's an exciting day for matchup hockey. We had our very first official big update launch today, which I hopefully was a big success with everyone out there. So 0.529 being today's date, was released today with 18 updated files for the game, 7 different teams included, all the updated charts, all the updated rules, some new additions to the game. So one of the main additions that we haven't talked about, and I was keeping a surprise, was when I was playing the game, it seemed like it was very, let's just say, it was kind of generic. It was just a matter of, okay, I'm going to put these lines out for no real reason other than, okay, these lines, number 1 line scores more than your number 2 lines. There was no really differences or really strategy. It was just, okay, I'm going to put these guys out. I'm going to put these guys out. Oh, these guys are better scorers. I'm going to put them out, blah, blah, blah. We have a new skill system built into it where some players are rated with some special skills. So there's 3 skills right now in the game. There's fast skaters, there are big hitters, and there are great blockers. So those are the 3 categories you can get, and each of those will come into play on the game. So now when you're actually trying to decide who you're going to be putting on the lines, you want to decide if you're going to put out your faster skaters, or if you're going to put out your bigger hitters, or if you're going to put out your better shot blockers, or however you're going to do it, because the players will come into the different results now. So actually deciding who's going to come out and play on the line is going to be a little bit more important now than just randomly just going, okay, 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 back and forth, because you want to get the players out in the right situations, because if you don't have fast skaters out, you don't get your breakaways, right? If you don't have your big hitters out, then you can't earn momentum from big hits. If you don't have your good blockers out, they can't block shots for your goalie when your goalie fails to make the save. So there'll be opportunities that will come up, hopefully, that will show you, the players that you actually put on the ice do matter. So that is, I think, going to help the game. I think it's going to bring a little bit more strategy in the game. I think it's going to definitely ramp things up a little bit for us and make it so that there is a little bit more strategy in developing who you want out on the ice, instead of just, him hauling around and going, well, these guys, we'll just put these guys out because it doesn't matter if I put these guys out or these guys. These guys score a little bit more and these guys don't do anything. So who cares, So now it actually does matter, because now you'll have players like, for example, Dennis O'Brien. He is a quality, great shot blocker. So if you have him out there on the ice when the goalie fails his check, he might block the shot. But if you have out, say, Brad Park, and somebody else will say Brad Park and Al Sims, Brad Park has got a big hit rating, and Al Sims doesn't have any rating. So if you have these 2 out, the only thing you can get is a good hit, but you can't get any shots blocked. So hopefully it'll build a little bit more strategy into it. So that's kind of one of the updates for our new game and the update today. So hopefully that went well. It'll probably be a few days before I get a lot of feedback from my crew, and I appreciate them. They've already got a little bit of feedback from somebody playing it right now, and they had quite an exciting game. Some of the other changes we talked about in the last update: the new penalty chart, the penalty ratings for each of the players, or for each of the teams. I put a little bit more space between the different lines, so you can actually have more space to write things down on your plexi or on your plastic sheets. So you got a little bit more room in there. We actually have, and this is a great idea that was first introduced to me by Turbocharged Sports on our channel, and that's actually get the player numbers on the team card as well. So not only do you have the player number, you have their position, or you have their player number, you have their name, and now you have their positions they play. So that kind of helps finalize players and helps people decide who can play in different positions, etc. We have the goalie split ratings now with easy save and hard saves. We have the new penalty chart. We have the new main chart, which will have different results, and now your players will actually determine what happens on some of the plays instead of it just randomly happening. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and play the second period out and see how things go. Right now, if you missed the first episode, Boston is at Toronto, and the score is 0-0 going into the second period. There was a lot of quality scoring opportunities, just couldn't get anything to score. Nobody's on the power play. Nobody has momentum at the start of the period, and I think we're ready to roll. Oh, we also did add the new Chicago Blackhawks from 1978-79. Another little nugget that I threw in there for people. Currently, we only had 6 teams going in, so I decided to add the Chicago Blackhawks from 1978-79. So we now have 5 teams from 78-79 and 2 teams from 17-18 season. So we continue to expand as we can progress. All right. So again, assigning dice. Blue dice is going to go to Toronto. Black dice to Boston. White dice are modifier dice. Blue 20-sider, black 20-sider. That will go for Boston. This will go to Toronto. The white modifier dice. So we got those all ready to go. And let's get the action rolling here in the second period. Here we go. So we're just going to start off 1-1, 1-1. There we go. And away we go. So Toronto wins by 1. 1 in the 13 says 1 in the 13 is going to be a possible penalty on opponent, and they're going to get a shot C. So first thing we're going to do is check for possible penalty. That's going to go to Peter McNabb. Let's see if Peter McNabb, he is a 2 and no major ratings, so he can't get a major. And it's a 19, so no penalty, but they do get a shot C. We need to figure out who's taking the shot. It's going to be Daryl, and I heard a lot of complaints about the way I was saying his name, so let me say it correctly now. It's Daryl Sittler. Sittler. There. How's that? So Daryl Sittler is going to get a shot C coming up. All right, here we go. Shot C coming up for Daryl Sittler. He's a 3, so he needs it. Oh, okay. All right, so lots of interesting things just happened on this roll. We'll cover them and go over them. So Daryl Sittler is a 3. He shot a 4, which means he is 1 over his rating on a C shot. On a C shot, if you're only exactly 1 over your rating, it could be deflected in front by one of your fellow line mates. So you're going to roll a 6-sided dice. 1, 2 is the left wing. 3, 4 is the center. 5, 6 is the right wing. And in this case, it's going to go to Maloney. So Sittler taking a shot C, and it's going to be redirected in front by Dave Maloney. So Maloney now gets an A shot from his position. So the shot comes in by Sittler, and Maloney gets a redirect in on Gary Cheevers. Let's see if he can put it in. He's a 5. And nope, he shot it. We look at the 7. 7 on the A is a tough save by Cheevers. And we look at the tough save, and that is going to be nice skate save, which he's going to deflect to the defenders. All that happened with just 20 seconds off the clock. So good shot there by Sittler. Maloney with the redirect. And that's how that happens pretty quickly once you don't have to sit down and explain it. You can just pick up the dice and re-roll them. All right, what do we got here? Boston wins by 1 and they got a 20. So you have a new chart now. Anytime you roll a 20, there's going to be multiple decisions to make about what happens. So you're going to look, is the team on the power play? No. Boston is currently not on the power play, so ignore that rating. We move on. Are they playing aggressive? No, they're not playing aggressive, so we ignore that rating. Are they on the penalty kill? No, they're not on the penalty kill. So we're going to check to see, does anybody on the ice with our new skill rating? And that little arrow that points up, I guess, I don't know what it's called. And we're going to look to see if anyone in Boston currently has they do. They have 2 of, actually. Peter McNabb has that little symbol, and Rick Middleton has that little symbol, and that's it. So one of those 2 do have that symbol, which means if you have a player with that symbol, you get a breakaway, and you get the momentum token. So we're going to get a breakaway by Boston here. And it's going to be, since we have 2 players, we can just choose. It's going to be a breakaway, and we're going to give it to Rick Middleton, who's an 8 on breakaways. He's actually very good on the breakaway. So Rick Middleton coming in on the breakaway, just the start of the second period, coming in. He is an 8 actually on the breakaway. So Rick Middleton, fast skater, intercepts the pass and in on Mike Palmetter. Here we go. Oh, it's a 7. It's on goal. Now, Palmetter on a breakaway. He needs a 10 or less. He rolled a 17. This is in range. This is out of range. And that is a goal. He scores. Rick Middleton on the breakaway. And that's going to give Boston a 1-0 lead here. Early in the top of the second period on the breakaway, Rick Middleton. We will roll for assists. So for assists, you grab the dice, the team dice, and the modifier dice. I'm going to roll those. And it would be the centerman and obviously the left wing. But since the left wing just scored the goal, we can ignore that. So it's going to be Rick Middleton from Peter McNabb at, and what we do is we roll a 20-sided dice and add it to the time, and that's a 10. So 40 seconds if we played the whole 20-second period, but halfway through that, he scores the goal. So at the 30-second mark of the second period, Rick Middleton scores and puts the Boston Bruins up 1-0. So we're going to change lines, and we have a 1-0 lead for Boston now. He scores! Palmateer, right, Palmateer. All right, here we go. I can't do everything. All right, here we go. So, before I'm just going to ignore that rule. I forgot something. Because they got the result on the chart that gave them the breakaway, and the M, anytime you see that little M, that means they get momentum. Not because they scored, but because they had the result that gives them the momentum token. The momentum token will give them a +1 to their matchup rolls. All right, so it's going to be 5 versus 1. So they're going to win by 4. 4 and an 18. 4 and an 18 plus 1 for the face-off rating. So it's going to be a 4 and a 19, actually. 4 and a 19 is going to be a shot A. And it's going to go to their right defenseman. And it's been all Boston here early in the second period. Dennis O'Brien. Now he's only a 1. He only scored 2 goals all in 64 games, so he's not the greatest scorer. But he's going to get a quality shot. It's an A shot. And he rolled an 18. It missed the net completely, so it's a missed shot. Look at 16 on a missed shot. 16 says stick breaks up the shot. So a stick gets in the way and it just doesn't get on net. And we flip 20 seconds off the clock and we move on. And so it's 5-4. Boston wins by 1. 1 in a 16. So Boston again. Shot C to the centerman. So again, it's all Boston here early. Gene Rattel. C is a 2. And it's a 6. So it's on goal and it's an easy save. Easy save by the goalie. And a 14 says shouldered over the net. So an easy save by the goalie there. And I need to get a little bit more room here. Move some of my little tokens on the way. Move my keyboard thing on the... Move out of the way, you dummy. Alright, and we're going to bring on new lines. Boston has to decide first because they're the visiting team. And Toronto's going to come right back with their number 1 line. Since Boston brought out their third liners. Boston does have the momentum token, so let's see if that comes into play here. Alright, so it is 6-4, so Boston wins by 2, and another 20! Oh my gosh, another 20! So, are they on the power play? No. So ignore that. Are they being aggressive? No, we ignore that. Are they on the penalty kill? No. Do they have someone with a breakaway skill? Well, let's take a look. They do. Bobby Schmaltz and John Wensink. Both of those guys are actually going to be rated with the fast skater. So Wensink and Bobby Schmaltz. So who's better at the breakaway? It looks like it's going to be Wensink. So Wensink's going to take a breakaway shot. So Toronto in a little bit of trouble here. Starting the second period, another breakaway, and this one is a 6 by Wensink. It rolled a 7. So it's a save and a rebound. So you look at the 12 rebound. And the rebound of 12 says goalie loses it in the crease. And we're going to have a rebound check to see who gets the rebound. So Wensink puts it on net, and Palmateer loses it, and the rebound is going to go to 2-2. So it's tied, right? So when it ties situation, you look to see who has momentum. In this case, Boston has momentum. So it's going to be Boston wins the rebound, and it's going to be to their choice for a rebound shot. And in this case, it's going to go to... we'll give it to Wensink again. He's going to get his own rebound. John Wensink trying to put this one in for the Bruins. And no, he does not. On a rebound chance, it's a tough save of 18. Tough save of 18 says puck loose out in front. Another rebound test. So this is all happening within the same time frame. Another rebound test. And it's 5-6. Toronto gets it because they rolled higher. The only time you check this is when they're tied. So Toronto gets it, and that'll end that. So the number 1 line's out here getting dominated by Boston's third line. Whew. And that's going to be oops, wrong teams. It's going to be 6-3, so Boston wins by 3. 3-15. 3-15 is a shot B to the left wing. That's going to be Wensink. He's going to get another shot. Shot B, he's a 4. And for Boston, he misses it. It goes on net, and it's a tough save by Palmateer. Tough save in a 1 is going to be quick stick, knocks puck over glass. So, quick stick, 40 seconds off the clock. These guys have been on long enough. They're going to come back with their 2s. And Boston is going to come back with their 1s now. And we're going to have a face-off. 18 minutes to go here in the second period. And it is going to be a 5-4, so Boston wins by 1. Oh, and another 20. Oh, my gosh. And that means they're going to get another breakaway chance, and they do. Peter McNabb and Rick Middleton are going to get a chance again, and it's going to go to Middleton. Rick Middleton with the chance. Boston getting lucky on the dice so far. And he rips it wide. Let's see. And that is going to be on a breakaway. That's going to be a tough save. Tough save in a 12 is a off body wide of the post. So good save by Palmateer. He's trying to keep his team in this. It's only 1-0. But it's been all Boston here early in the second period. For sure it's been all Boston. I think it's shots on goal or 4-0 or something. It's crazy. So, and Toronto's going to do well here. So that's a 2 versus a 6. So Toronto wins by 4, but unfortunately they rolled a 1, which means no action. So they will finally win the matchup, but nothing happens. So kind of disappointing if you're a Toronto fan. And this time it's going to be 6-5. So Boston wins by 1. 1-13 is a possible penalty on opponent and a shot C. So opponent is going to be Ron Ellis. Ron Ellis is a 2 penalty and no major. So 1 or 2 it'll be a penalty. It's not. So no penalty. Now a shot C. So we need to figure out who's taking the shot. And in this case it's going to be Wayne Cashman, the left wing. He is a 2 on the C shot. And he rolled a 5. It's going to be an easy save by Palmateer. Easy save in a 6 is stick save into open ice. And that's another minute off the clock. 3 plays, so we'll change lines. We'll go 3-3, 2-2, and continue the action here in the second period. 1-0 Boston if you're just joining us. And, oh, look at that. Boston is just killing it. 7-3, so they win by 4, but a 2 is no action. So they win big, but nothing happened. And Toronto's going to win by 1 and a 2, which means no action. And Boston wins by 2, but 5 is no action. So that whole shift, nothing happened. 3 just dead plays. And they're going to bring out their 3s and 3s. And Toronto's going to counter with their 4s and 1s. And Toronto wins 6-3. So they win by 3. 3 and a 6 is no action. So time is just flying by here, which Boston is happy to do. And it's going to be a tie. So it's 3 versus 3. A tie and a 12. Tie and a 12 says if the visitors have a big hitter on the ice, they get a big hit. The big hit is going to be the pound symbol. So think of pound, right? The pound symbol. You're pounding your opponent, so pound. So you look for the pound symbol, and no one has it. So they don't get the big hit event, which would win a momentum, which they already have anyways, but they don't get that, so it doesn't matter. And we flip over 20 seconds, and we move on. And Boston's going to win by 1 and another 20. Oh my gosh, do they have? They do. John Wedsink again is out there. You know what? We're going to give this one to Bobby Schmaltz this time, though. Bobby Schmaltz is going to get a breakaway this time. Breakaway shot for Schmaltz. And it's on goal. And breakaway. Oh, it's a save by Palmateer. It's a tough save of 10. And that's off his arm to the glass. So great save by Palmateer. And again, that's another 3 plays, another minute. And they're going to bring out their 4th line and their second pair. And Toronto's going to counter with their number 1 line and their second defensive pair. So another breakaway given up by Toronto. It's been 3 breakaways so far for Boston. And Boston wins 5-1, so they win by 4 and a 10. 4 and a 10 says shot C to their player of their choice. So shot C. And we're going to give this one to... We're going to give it to Al Secord. No, you know what? We're going to give it to Al Sims, the defenseman. So there's advantages when you're doing C shots of using your defensive players, because if you roll one more than what you need, that means it's going to be deflected in front, and since you're using your defenseman, it will get deflected. If you use one of your other players, then when you roll to see who gets deflected, let's say Al Secord takes a shot C, and it gets deflected in front. If we roll 1 or 2, since he took the shot, he couldn't obviously deflect it, so it's kind of a waste. So there is advantages to actually using your defensemen to take their shots. So it's going to be Al Sims taking a C shot. And in this case, he puts it on net, but it's a tough save of 20. So it's a tough save of 20, which means it goes to off the goalie's glove and hits the post. And there's a chance it could go in. Since this is the home goalie, if I roll a 1, it goes in. If it happened to the visitor goalie, it's a 1 or 2, it goes in. So it goes off the glove, hits the post. Is it going to go in? And no, it does not go in. Whew. Palmateer keeping his team in this game. Wow, it's been all Boston so far. Woo, crazy. Ever since they got that momentum token, they have definitely used the momentum. And, this time, Toronto's going to win big. They're going to win by 4, but a 1 again. That means no action. So nothing. So Toronto just can't, even when they win, they can't get anything to happen for them. And that is going to be a 7-5. So a 2 and a 3. No action. Another minute off the clock. We're going to go to 2. And back to our number 1s. They're going to go to 1s and their 1s. So 1-1, 2-1. And Boston by 2. 2 and a 17 is a shot B to the centerman. That's Peter McNabb. Shot B, he's a 4. And it's going to be an easy save by the goalie, Palmateer. Easy save says off left pad to open area. And I dropped my dice. Off his pad into an open area, so 20 seconds off the clock. And it's going to be Boston by 2 again. 2 and a 17. Now it's going to be shot B to left defenseman Mike Milbury. He's a 1 on a B. And it's going to be a tough save of 18. Tough save says bounces back out in front for a rebound test. So bounces in front for a rebound test. Still all Boston here. And Boston gets the rebound, and it's 6, which means we can choose any player now. So it's going to be Rick Middleton. Going to try and jump on this one. He's already got 1 tally. He's a 7 on the rebound. Oh, he rolled a 20. And the rebound is going to be a tough rebound save and a 9. So it's going to be nice glove save by the goalie. So nice glove save by Palmateer. He's going to give it to his defensive line mates. 2 more shots on goal by Boston. It's got to be at least 8-0 so far in this period. But all Boston. 5-5. So it's a tie and a 17. Tie and a 17 says hard play plus a 6-sider. So we're going to roll this. And, it's a 6. So everyone's penalty ratings go up by 6. A lot of chippy play going out. So I just use a dice just to keep track of that. And another 20 seconds off the clock. That was another minute. We're going to go 2, 3, and Boston's going to bring 2 and 2. There we go. 13 minutes to go here in the second period. Boston wins by 3. 3-12 is a shot C by left wing. That's going to be Don Marquardt. He is a 2. And easy save by the goalie is going to be 16 off his skate and wide. 20 seconds off the clock. Toronto wins by 2. Again, when Toronto wins, that white dice just hates Toronto. Wow. Every time they finally win a matchup, nothing happens. And it's going to be another tie and a 3, which is going to be off the stick and out of play. Play stoppage. And we will have a face-off. So, again, you might want to think about who you're bringing in for your face-off. They're going to bring in their third line. And Toronto's going to counter with their fourth liners here. 12 minutes to go here in the second period. 1-0 Boston. Boston had 8 or 9 shots so far. 3 of them breakaways. It's been crazy. Face-off, and it's a 5-2. So Boston wins by 3 and a 7. No adjustment for the face-off for Miller. So it's just a 7. 3 and a 7 is no action. So nothing happens. And we move on. And it's going to be a tie and a 1, which means it goes off sides and play stoppage. So, we're 40 seconds in, so it's probably a good time to change lines. They're going to go 1-1. And Toronto is going to go 1-2. Alright, so let's see what happens. Boston wins by 2. And they rolled a +1, and 1 is a 2, which is still no action. And Boston wins by 1. 1 and a 6 is no action. And a 7-2, that's a 5. 5 and a 13 is a shot B by the left defenseman. That's going to be Milbury. He's a 1. He's a terrible shooter. And is a shot B. So it misses the net completely. And a 4. Missed shot and a 4 says high and right. Hits the glass. So he didn't even get a shot on goal. But that is another minute off the clock already. Quick tick. 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 And we move on. And Toronto wins by 1 and a 19. And they're going to get a shot A. Finally, their first shot attempt. It's going to go to the left wing. That's Dave Tiger Williams with the A shot. He's a 5. He's got some power. He's got some skills. And not this time, as he rips this right into the glove of Cheevers for an easy save. So that will be a shot on goal and a save. An easy one by Cheevers there. Let's see here. It goes. Toronto wins by 2. 2 and a 3 is no action. And Toronto wins by 2 and 8 is no action. So those 3 shifts was a shot by Tiger Williams, no action, and a no action. And that's how quick it can go. And they're going to go 3 and 1. And they're going to go 3 and 1. And this time, Boston crushes it. 7-1. So they're going to be a 17. That's going to be a shot A. And unfortunately, it's Milbury again. He is... Oh, come back here, Dice. Come back here. Come back here. Come back here. No, come back here. It's too bad it's Milbury. It's too bad it's Milbury because... yeah, it's too bad it's Milbury. Because he's just not a very good shooter. And yeah, that's why. It will be a hard save of 20 again, which means goes off his glove, has a chance of going in. It hits the post. On a 1, it goes in. Oh, it's a 20, so good save there. So another good save by Palmateer, keeping things close. At least it's only 1-0. As much as the Bruins are dominating, you'd think it'd be 5-0 by now, or 3-0. But Palmateer is making the saves count. Oh my God, Boston kills it again. 7-2. That's a 5 and a 15. That's going to be a shot B to the right wing. That's Bobby Schmaltz. He's a 3. And it goes wide of the net. And his 17 goes wide is going to be 2 deflections and loose pucks. So 2 deflections and a loose puck for a rebound, rebound check. And Boston wins it. So it's going to be their choice for a rebound chance. And then it's going to be Bob Miller. Bob Miller jumps on it, the centerman, right in front, and tries to tuck it in. Oh, he misses it by 1. So it's going to be an automatic save and a rebound. Look at the rebound of 6, which says pulled away by defensive team. So he had a chance. Another 2 shots by Boston there. Another 2 shots on goal. It's got to be 12-1 so far. Oh, look at that. Toronto wins by 1 and a 6, which means, that's right, no action. Another 3 plays, another change of lines. It's going to go 2 and 8:20 to go. They're going to bring out their 4s. So Toronto's going to counter with their 4s and 2s. Get some 4th line action here for a little bit. Let the main players rest. Boston wins by 1. 1-15 is shot C. That's going to be the right wing, Foster. Oh, it's on goal, but another huge save. Easy save by the goalie. And it goes over the glass for a point stoppage. So again, what I normally do is these guys just 20 seconds, right? I just move this aside and give them a whole nother shift because they only played, 15 seconds and there's a play stoppage. They have 20 to 30 seconds to rest and then they drop the puck again. So 4th liners going out again. And we have us a tie and an 11. And we're going to be checking for home and visitor penalty. No, I'm sorry. Penalty versus the home team. And the visitors would get momentum, but they already have it. So it's going to be to the right defenseman, Dave Hutchinson. Now, he's a problem. He's a 1-8 plus 6. So he's a 1-14. He will take a 2-minute penalty. And if I roll a 19 or higher, he will get a major penalty. And we rolled a 15, so he does not take a penalty, actually. Wow. I thought for sure he was going to take one. But the dice say, no, my friend. Not yet. Not yet. Hey, Phil Reynolds. How you doing, buddy? 7:40 to go here in the second period. 1-0 Boston. And it is a 2-1, so Boston wins by 1, but a 3 means no action. And it's going to be Boston wins by 1 and an 18, though, is going to be a shot B. That's going to be to Al Sims. And he's a 2. And it's going to go wide of the net. And a 17 says, again, deflects wide and loose in front for a rebound chance. Going to roll for a rebound chance. And Toronto wins. So they get the rebound, cancel the play. Another minute off the clock. 1-1, 1-1. Here we go. 7 minutes to go. Oh my gosh. 7-2. They win by 5. 5-4 though is no action. So finally Boston gets the dreaded no action curse. And this time, it's a tie and a 2, which means it goes out of play. 40 seconds off the clock. We're going to go ahead and change lines. 2-2, 2-2. Picking the action right up. And Toronto wins by 1. 1-18 is a shot B for the right defenseman. Dave Hutchinson's going to rip it. He's only a 1. And he's going to rip it right into the stomach of Cheevers for a hard save, actually. And a 10 is just going to go into the corner. So no harm, no foul there. And Boston wins by 1, and an 11 is a play stoppage. 40 seconds off the clock. Changing lines. 3-3, 3-3. Moving on. Boston wins by 5. 5-14 because of the... No, wait. 3-3. He's no face-off, so it is a 13. And it's going to be a shot B. That's going to be Rick Smith. He's a 1. And he rips it way wide of the net. And 16 says, miss shot. Breaks stick on the shot. So he broke his stick on the shot. And just goes into the corner for no shot on goal. And Boston wins by 2. Doing a 16 is a shot C. The left defenseman. That is going to be Dick Redmond. He's a 1. And easy save by the goalie. He's going to freeze it. And that's fine because another 40 seconds off the clock already. And we're going to come back with 1-1 and 1-1. 5 minutes to go here in the second period. And it is Boston killing it. Jesus. 6-1. So they win by 5 and a 6. 5 and a 6 is no action though. Oh, I'm sorry. 5 and a 7 is going to be a play stoppage. So it didn't, because they get the +1 from the faceoff. So 6 + 1 is 7. It's still going to be a play stoppage again, since it's play stoppage with only 1 play in. These guys rest, and they just come right back in for some more action. Oh my God, this dice must be cursed. 7-1. That's a huge. 4, that's a B to their choice. It's a B to someone that they want. It's gonna be Wayne Cashman with the B shot. Wayne Cashman. Whoop, come back here, dice. Wayne Cashman. And he misses the net because it's out of his range, out of the goalie range. So missed net. And he fanned on the one-timer. He fanned on it. The crowd is giving him the grief there as Cashman fanned on the one-timer. So Boston wins by 1, and that's going to be 20 seconds off the clock. And it's going to be a tie and a 20. We got an unusual play coming up. And we're going to use chart B for the unusual play, which is a 2. Which is a breakaway by the visitors if they have someone, which they do. They have Rick Middleton and Peter McNabb. They're going to get a breakaway by Rick Middleton again. The goal scorer earlier. Let's see if he can do it again. He's an 8. And he rolled a 20. So he rips it wide of the net. And it's off the post and out of play. So another minute off the clock and changing lines, and we have a face-off. So Middleton with the perfect opportunity rips it right off the post, and it goes out of play. Oh, let me refresh my screen here, make sure I'm getting any chat that's coming up. There we go. All right. There we go. 3:40 to go. Boston wins by 2. 2-12 is penalty opponent plus shot C. So it's going to be to Dave Hutchinson. Let's see what he's got. He's an 8 plus 6. He's a 14. Or a 19-20. Ah, an 18. He misses the penalty again. Wow. So no penalty. Oh, and they get a shot C as well. Who's going to take this shot? It's going to be the left wing. That is going to be Don Marquardt, who's a 2. And he rips it wide of the net. That would have been a great time to get it on goal because the 20. So rips it wide of the net, and it's going to be hits defensive stick and goes into seats. 40 seconds off the clock. We're going to change lines. There is 3 minutes to go. They're going to bring out their third line one more time in the second period here. 1-0 Boston. They've hit a couple posts. They've had 4 breakaways. Poor Toronto. Boston wins by 1. That's a shot A by Rick Smith. And he's going to rip it over the shoulder of the goalie into the glass. Oh, 20 seconds off the clock. And Toronto finally wins by 4, and they rolled a 3, which means no action. Again, every time they win one, they get no action. Oh, it's killing them. Boston wins by 1, but a 1 means no action. That's another minute off the clock, and we're going to go back to 1-1-1-1s. 2 minutes to go here in the second period. And it's going to be a tie and a 4, which means penalty check on the visitors. And it's going to be choice here. So it's probably going to be against Brad Park, who's only a 2. So 1 plus 6. So he's a 1-8. Oh, and he's a 9. So no penalty. They thought about it for a second, but they did not call the penalty. And Boston wins by 4 and a 19. That's going to be a shot A to Brad Park. Brad Park is a 2 on an A. And he is going to tough save by the goalie. And stacks his pads for the save. Stacking the pads for the save. And Boston has that momentum token just about the whole period because Toronto cannot get a play to get it back. And Boston keeps winning by a huge amount. That's 5. 5 and a 16 says shot A. And again, it goes to Brad Park, though. Shot A is a 2. And it's a 6, so it's going to rip it in wide. Wide shot. And didn't get to the net. It was blocked. So it didn't get to the net. It was blocked. Another minute off the clock. 2-2, 2-2. There's 1 minute to go. 3 plays left in the second period. It's only 1-0 though. As much as Boston has been dominating. And, Boston wins by 1. 1 and a 15. Shot C to Marquardt. Shot C. He's a 2. And he misses the net. Hits defenseman in front of the net for a rebound chance. And Boston wins it, and it's their choice for a rebound chance. So it's going to be Jean Rittel. Jean Rittel is a 6 on the rebound. He misses it wide of the net. And it goes to around the boards. And 40 seconds left to go in the second period. 2 plays left, ladies and gentlemen. 2 plays to go. And Toronto wins by 1. A 1 and a 16. Maybe they can get something here. A shot C. And it's going to go to the centerman. That is Walt McKenzie. He is a 3. Come on, Walt. They rolled a 20. And it would have been a goal if he would have rolled in his range because it missed Cheevers. So it's going to be a missed shot of 1 off the post and out. So just 1 play left in the period. And both teams are going to come back with their best players for this last play. Last play of the period. Here we go. And it's going to be a tie. A tie and a 2, which is going to be a play stoppage, offsides, and that's going to do it for the second period. If you're a Boston fan, you probably want to rewind this and rewatch it because it was literally Boston all the time. Boy, I'm gonna have to go back and watch how many shots on goal they had. They had an incredible amount of shots on goal. And then every time Toronto would win the matchup, they get a 2 or 3, which is a no action. And so they couldn't ever take the chip away, because the only way you get the chip away is when you do things to get the momentum. But you can't do things when you don't ever win. And when you do win, you roll. It's just, the way it worked out for Toronto. I mean, you probably couldn't do that again. I mean, Boston, I think, got the momentum chip about the 1920 mark of the second period, and they kept it the rest of the period. So, fortunately, they start over fresh for the next period. Woo, nilly! So we got to see how our new fast skaters work. We also had a chance of a tough play, but Boston didn't have that line or a player on the ice that had that, so they didn't get it. And I think that was it. So, wow. That's a look at the new matchup hockey. Hopefully you guys are enjoying our look at it. And the new 529 update. And it's been pretty exciting so far. So thanks for coming out to Turbocharged Sports. Philip Reynolds, everyone else that came out. Taking a quick peek at second period action. And also talking about the new additions and updates and everything to our matchup hockey system. So we will have the third period next time we get together. Until then, have a good night, everyone. We'll see you guys soon, and take care.